Welcome to the Baton Rouge Regional, and joining us for the post-game press conference for Ohio State. Gets the win over Missouri State today, 63-56. Joining us immediately to my left is head coach Kevin McGuff. To his left is a junior guard J.C. Sheldon, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals in today's win. And to her left, far side of the table, is senior guard Taylor Mikesell, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. We ask those in attendance here to please silence your phones. If you have a question, raise your hand. We do have a wireless mic we'll bring around since we are streaming. And those who are joining us via Zoom, if you'll hit the raise your hand icon on Zoom, we will come to you after the in-person questions. We will ask Coach McGuff to make an opening statement, then we will address the first questions to the players, and then we will dismiss the players, and then we'll go back to Coach and ask questions of him. With that, Coach, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And comment, please.
I'm good. We can go right to questions. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go straight to the questions for players. We'll bring a mic around.
Congratulations. Sheldon, what's going to be the biggest, adjustment that you're going to be able to make for tomorrow's, Monday's game?
Yeah, I think we didn't play our best basketball today, and I think that came down to our effort there at the end. So we're going to get back in the gym, watch some film, and play as hard as we always do. But I think we kind of got that game under our belt, and it's been a while since we played, so I think it was good to get back out there, and we'll play even harder next time we're out there.
Any other questions here in person right now? We have one online. Let's go to Zoom, and this is for Bill Rabinowitz. Bill, I hope I got your last name correct. I apologize, with the Columbus Dispatch. If you will please unmute on your Zoom and direct who your question is for which one of the players, and please speak your question all the way through. Bill, it's yours.
Yes, Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. For JC, were there jitters at the beginning? I mean, you had not played. Ohio State had not been here since 2018, and Missouri State had played a first game, so they were comfortable at least. Were there jitters at the beginning, and how did you get over them?
Yeah, I think it was more of excitement. Like you said, they had a game under their belt, and we hadn't played in a while. So I think we're really excited to get out there, and it showed a little bit. Maybe the nerves showed, but I think once we settled down, we started playing together as a team.
Okay, we have another question via Zoom. Braden Moles with the Buckeye Sports Network. Braden, if you will unmute on your end through Zoom and ask your question for one of the players, let us know who you're asking for, please.
Braden Moles, Buckeye Sports Bulletin, for JC. JC, with that three-pointer that you were able to hit, I believe it was in the second quarter, the first one you hit in a number of games, how much of a confidence booster was that for you and the team as you guys went down the stretch there?
Yeah, it's always good. It's always good to see the ball go in, but I think me and Team Mike, no matter whether it's going in or not, we're going to keep shooting. So, like you said, it was definitely something we needed at that time, but we're always gonna keep shooting.
Okay, continue online. Thomas Costello. Thomas, if you will unmute on your end, and please address the player for which you're asking the question. Thomas, go ahead.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win. Question for both really Taylor and JC. In the game, in the second quarter especially, you're forcing 6 turnovers in the last couple of minutes of the half. How big is that for momentum, and what do you tell each other in halftime to keep that momentum going? Because right out into the third quarter, same thing happened to start it off.
Yeah, I think that was a huge momentum shift for us. I think just in the huddle, we were talking about, starting offense with our defense, and I think we definitely did that at the end of the second quarter, got a nice little run going into halftime, and I think it gave us momentum coming out of halftime. And I think the message at halftime was just to keep up what we were doing and keep forcing them into tough twos and just making them take tough shots.
Yeah, I would agree. We rely a lot on our press, and we executed there towards the end of the second quarter, and then to come out the third too. But we also had to rely on our half-court defense there at the end, and we executed really well there and definitely helped us win the game.
Okay, any other questions for the players while they're here? If not, JC, Taylor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations. Okay, now we'll get the players, let them get dismissed. We'll open up for questions for Coach McGuff. Bring a mic to the front, please.
Coach McGuff, what does today's game, say about your team's growth throughout this season?
Well, I'm really proud of our effort and our just ability to stay together and execute down the stretch. Missouri State's got a great team. They played extremely hard today, like they normally do. Their defense was very good. They made us earn everything we got. But I think it speaks to just our leadership and of our captains and our upperclassmen for them to kind of keep us, keep us in the right frame of mind when we got off to a bad start, and then two, to really keep us together down the stretch where we had to really make a lot of plays on both ends of the floor to win the game.
All right, Coach, we have questions for you as well via Zoom. Let's go back to Bill with the Columbus Dispatch. Bill, once again, if you will unmute on your end and your opportunity to ask a question for Coach.
Hi, Kevin. Congratulations. What does it mean to you to get this win? And obviously, it's been 4 years. Just what does it mean?
Well, I'm really happy for our players because most of the team had not been able to participate in the NCAA tournament. So really happy for them to get a chance to experience this in general, but then to get a win and be able to move on to the second round is really special. And, regardless of who wins, it'll be a good opportunity on Monday against a great team.
Thomas Costello, your opportunity to ask a question for Coach. Please unmute on your end and go ahead.
Congrats on the win, Coach. Thank you for the time. JC had a huge game today. Obviously, she was leading the team on the court there. But in the second half especially, thought Tanae Beecham came off the bench and had some pretty big moments, especially there in the final minute where she's jumping out of bounds to keep the ball in possession for Ohio State. What do you say about her as the season's gone on towards the end of the year? She's really stepped up in those big moments. What do you say about her game today?
She plays with such great intensity, and our team really feeds off of that. And she's really got great competitive character. She always plays hard, and you're right. She had some huge plays down the stretch with her defense and her rebounding, and we needed all of it.
Once again, back to Zoom. Braden Moles, if you will unmute on your end with the Buckeye Sports Bulletin. Braden, your chance to ask Coach a question.
Kevin, in the early stages of the game, did you view the slow start as, kind of some jitters on your side, or was it kind of Missouri State's defense, or just a little bit of both? Where did you view that slow start?
A little bit of both. Their defense was very good to start, and really it was good throughout the game. But so they kind of put us back on our heels, and I didn't think we reacted real well to it until we got to the second quarter, and we kind of turned up the press. The full court press, which we turned them over, and then we were able to get some easy baskets in transition. I think that kind of helped settle us down.
Okay, once again, Bill, back to you via Zoom. If you'll unmute on your end, your opportunity, go.
Yeah, the issues you had on the boards. If somebody had said you would be out rebounded by 18 and still win, how surprised would you have been, and how much of an issue was that?
Yeah, I would have told you we're not winning if that were the case. But one way to kind of offset rebounding differential is turnover margin, and I think ultimately that's where we won the game.
Thank you, Thomas. Once again, unmute on your end, please. Your question for Coach.
Coach, throughout the year, the offense has really been a big part. Top 10 scoring in the season. Does a game like today where scoring really isn't there, the shooting is probably less than you were hoping for the team, do you see that as motivation within the roster for Monday's game?
Yeah, we didn't shoot it well, but a big part of that was Missouri State's defense was really good, and so give them credit there. And I did think that we did miss on some opportunities that we did get that on some shots we normally make. But at this time of year, you're going to have to win in different ways. And today it was more of our defense down the stretch that gave us a chance to win. Although I will say that our kids executed some really good offense when we needed it down the stretch to get some big baskets, because it was so hard to get baskets that we needed those ones down the stretch, and they did a good job with it.
All right. Coach, we are clear on Zoom. If there's no other questions here in person, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Congratulations on your win. We'll have Missouri State in here shortly to continue from Baton Rouge. Don't forget a recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub. That's ncaa.veritone.com. And transcripts will be provided shortly by ASAP. Once again, we'll be back shortly with Missouri State. Until then, thank you for joining us. To Baton Rouge now as we continue with our post-game press conference, joined with our Missouri State now with head coach Amaka Ogugwa-Hamilton. Coach Mox to my left. To coach's left is Bryce Caleb, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in this afternoon's game. And to the far left at the end of the table, Abigail Jackson, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Again, if you have a question in person, please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you. Those of you who are joining us via Zoom, please hit the raise hand button on your Zoom. We will come to you after we address questions here in person. Coach, turn it over to you for an opening comment, and then we will address questions to the players first. Coach?
Well, obviously we wish we were able to keep dancing, but we're not hanging our heads. I'm just really proud of this group, and that's what I told them in the locker room. Obviously there was tears from me, from them, from everybody, just because we love each other so much. And this journey that we were on this year was filled with adversity, but you know, we just grew closer as a family, and you know, the skill sets that they learned to persevere through adversity are going to set them up for life, especially our seniors that are moving on. So I'm proud of that. You know, I know they're going to be okay. You know, I've seen them gain confidence, learn how to fight, all kinds of things through the course of this season. So this game in particular was up and down, and thought we had them. We were right there. Couldn't really execute down the stretch, but some of the defense that we played and some of the grit and character that we showed out there was really amazing, and I'm just really proud of this group.
Thank you, Coach. I will address questions for the players first.
Bryce, I saw you smiling when you walked in, and just kind of on and off a little bit. Just take me through what you're feeling right now as it comes to an end.
Just proud of our team. I know it probably won't hit me for another couple days. Just soaking this all in. Just really proud of our effort, especially throughout the years. We lost a lot of key players. Even when us starters weren't doing the job, our bench picked it up. Just overall thankful to still be wearing this uniform. I don't know how long I'll keep it on, but I want to keep it on as long as possible. But no, overall just a good feeling. I'm glad we made this run. Just bittersweet.
6 years. Do you ever let a second, is there any little bit of regret in there, just being able to put that uniform on for another year?
Oh, no, not at all. Definitely learned a lot of skills outside of basketball this year. Just being a vocal leader, being grandma of the group, keeping everybody level-headed, and just being a great vocal leader, like I said, and just an overall presence of if I'm going well during the game, our team flows with me. So just life skills, gotta learn and be ready for the real world. So yeah, no regrets at all.
I guess 2 questions. One for Bryce is, what turned around the third quarter when you finally solved their press? What did you see that finally got you over that hump? And also, secondly, for Abby, you finally got going in the second half of the third quarter. But tell me how it flipped for y'all, because y'all really, reeled back in it and really, turned it around.
I think just poise overall. Us returners were kind of rattled in that second quarter, but just knowing overall we need to be level-headed for everyone on court, especially me and Maya being the ball handlers of that group, and just overall just staying to our game plan that Coach Mox had and just playing as we are as Lady Bears.
Yeah, just like she said, poise. We just had to get after it, do what we had to do.
This could be for other player. Obviously the defense was really good. The effort was really there. It was a really tense game. But just knowing how you guys are capable of playing, I wonder, is there anything that you feel like you didn't do as well as you usually do, or anything that they did that gave you problems that may have tipped the balance?
No, I just think we had a little hiccup sometimes in offensive execution, but overall I thought our effort was there, our heart was there, left it all on the line. No, I think it was just our little mistakes. They didn't really do anything that we didn't know of, so.
Abby, what was this year like for you? Because I mean, you're able to step into that bigger role, just kind of be a star for the team when they needed you. Just what was that like, and what did these years mean to you being at Missouri State?
These years have meant a lot to me, just the experience and getting to know the team and the coaches. It's a great group of people, and I could not thank them more to take me in under their wing and help me excel to where I have. I could not do any of this without them, so I enjoyed every single minute of it.
Bryce, what was it like watching her grow?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like I just get so hyped whenever she gets up. Was really hoping she would dunk one of these games, but
You were up there today.
yeah, she was. But just the growth from her, we all knew it was there. Mox told us, "Oh, this is a good transfer," and I'm like, I'm ready for it, you know. But just knowing that she definitely excelled this year, put honestly our team on her back during Valley play. Just very exciting to see her flourish, not even just on the court, but off the court. Just her bright spirit kept us going, and we just love Abby J.
Bryce, 6 years, 3 NCAA tournaments, 2 Sweet 16s, winningest Lady Bear in program history. What are you going to look back on and smile the most about when kind of in the next few years when you kind of look back at this time in your life?
I just think the growth, just overall sitting out my first year redshirting and just seeing me flourish throughout the 6 years, and even the confidence my teammates and all coaching staffs I've had the last 6 years, just knowing that I've excelled and grown into a young woman, and think I'm ready to take on the real world now. But honestly, I think this year was definitely the most memorable because we've just gone through a lot, and we all stayed together. We wanted this, and we got here, and we just put our name in history once again.
Abby, what's the last month been like for your team through the Valley tournament and then getting into March Madness and playing really good on a big stage? What's that last month kind of been like for you?
I think our last month, I mean, it's just been an experience. I feel like it's been fun. We've had our ups and downs, but we've gotten through it. We fought through so much this entire year. But this month, I really think it was just have fun, honestly, enjoy our time.
This question is for Bryce. What's going to be your statement or your legacy here at Missouri?
Ooh, that's a good question. Just trust the process. Just work in the dark. Your work will shine on the court. Just give your all. Also defense, best part of the game, but also just knowing that if you take care of defense, your offense will come. So yeah, trust the process.
Okay, we do have a question via Zoom. Natalie, with the next. Natalie, if you will unmute on your end, please let us know which player you're addressing your question to and ask your question.
Either player could answer, but can you just talk about the effect that Nanaya had in this NCAA tournament? I know she came into the tournament only averaging a couple of points and a couple of rebounds per game, but really shined the last two.
Oh yeah, she's a big presence on our floor. We've always known that with her as well. Just she comes in off the bench, gives us energy. That's the reason why she could be a starter, but she's just a spark off the bench. Loves the game. You can tell by her spirit. She's definitely hyped to be here. She's never been here, so just knowing that her energy carried on the floor. And so we needed that, and she had some good putbacks, and I'm super proud of her growth as well.
If that's all for the players, Bryce and Abigail, thanks for your time while you've been here in Baton Rouge, and thanks for your time today. Congratulations on your season.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Are we staying here?
You're welcome to sit if you want. If you'd like to go, you can go.
Look,
You're going to sit?
I want to stay.
No problem. You are welcome to stay. We'll now open up the floor for Coach Mox. Questions here, either in person or online, for Coach Mox. I wasn't trying to chase you away. No, I'm not doing that.
Just wanted to get the opponent coach's view of the way Lacey Sheldon played and influenced the game. What did you think she did?
Well, she's a great player, and we knew that coming in, her and Taylor Mike. So I understand JC ended up with 25 points, but I think we frustrated her in half court. We guarded her in half court, which was the game plan. She got away from us a little bit in transition and off of the press, and she shot, she made a lot of free throws. I think she made 10 free throws. I don't have a stat sheet in front of us, but in the half court, I thought Bryce did a great job of locking her down. But when she was in the open court, that's where she kind of got away from us. So, but she's that kind of kid. She can play off their ball screen action. She flourishes in transition. She plays the top of that press, and she plays for 40 minutes. So she's a great player and made some plays tonight for them. I really liked what we did with Taylor Mikesell, though. We face guarded her the whole game. Maya did, and Bryce and Maya pretty much played the whole game on those two, and I thought they did a really good job.
Coach, a difficult year, but you still end up here. You still end up going toe-to-toe with Ohio State. Just when you kind of summarize this season and what you're going to take away from this, what is that going to be?
Just the character of our team, the culture, our grit. A lot of people would have quit. You know, a lot of coaches would have just given up and been like, okay, this season's a wash. Let's just recruit and get better next year or whatever. But for us, I still knew that every single person we brought here is here for a reason, and they can step up. Now, some had to get thrown in the fire and kind of mature in front of everybody's eyes, but I know the talent that we have on this team, and in different games, different people stepped up. I mean, even some of our freshmen. Izzy was a big reason why we won those first 2 conference games after Jazz went down. I mean, she was freshman of the week in our conference after those 2 games. So everybody's played a part. Abby J's growth was huge. Bryce stayed steady and played pretty much 40 minutes the whole year. It just, you know, everybody just, Maya, she matured so much and did a lot. Wilson played 1 through 5. I mean, you could just go all the way down the list. And then obviously Naya and her growth has been tremendous, you know, especially rebounding, but even just scoring. You know, she just became a catch and score kid, offensive rebounder, and really helped us that way. Jen coming back, I told them in the locker room, we're not here if Jen doesn't get cleared and fight to get cleared and do her rehab and all that stuff, because we needed that position and we needed depth in that spot. So everybody played a big role in why we're here, and you know, I'm just really proud of this group.
About Bryce and just kind of her legacy here at Missouri State and winningest Lady Bear ever. Now that it comes to an end, I don't know if you can find a 7th season for her, but just what has she meant to you in this entire program behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's hard to put into words. Lady Bear Nation loves her. I mean, it's really hard to put into words. I mean, she's sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears for 6 years. That's hard to do. And when she plays, she doesn't take plays off. And she's played pretty much 40 minutes a game for the last couple of years, at least since I've been here. And she plays on both ends. Defensively, I've said it time and time again, she's the best defensive guard I've ever coached. And she doesn't take plays off. She's evolved offensively. When I got here, she wasn't on any all-conference team at all, you know, and I got here and I saw her in workouts, and they're, oh, she's a defender, and I'm like, what? I'm like, this kid has a skill set. Like, this kid can get downhill. She can shoot. She has a pull-up jumper, all kinds of things like that. And we just really dove into player development. She was open to anything. And next thing you know, you just see the accolades start running in. And it's just pretty crazy what she was able to accomplish. I mean, she was Defensive Player of the Year, then Defensive Player of the Year again. You know, all conference team every year, all defensive team, scholar athlete. I mean, she's just really excelled on and off the court, and I just couldn't even be more proud of her. That's why we call her Depoy Poi Depoy, because that's the order that she got those awards in.
You know, with you just for your first time in the March Madness, what will you take from this? And how did you keep the young players level? You know, how did you keep them? Was it Bryce? You know, what did she say? You know, what did you say to those young players to keep them level coming into, you know, today's play?
What was the first part of your question? The first time in March Madness?
No, not first time in March Madness. I want to take that. But I was asking pretty much, you know, the young players being
Okay.
here for the first time.
Oh, the young players.
You know, what was their take on it? How did you, you know, keep them level-headed? They played a great game, you know, throughout. It was OSU, but you still played your ball.
Yeah, I mean, part of that is, yes, when you get into the NCAA tournament, lights are bright, you know, it's different if you've never experienced it. So we knew that there was going to be a little bit of jitters with our young kids, but that's the reason why we scheduled the way we do in a non-conference. And we had already played before the NCAA tournament 5 Power 5 schools, and we did well against those. So we have that experience under our belt, and you know, we do that purposely because we got to prepare for March. So they had already played against, you know, teams like USC, who's probably one of the biggest teams in the country. I mean, they had 6'7" and 6'6" and all this stuff. Oklahoma State was big, and you know, you go down the line. So LSU, we played them; they were huge. So the size and the athleticism and all that stuff didn't rattle us because, one, we're big too. We have athletes on our team, but we were used to playing that. So our young kids got to mature through that process, and then when we got out here, it was just time to go. You know, we did all this work. We fought through adversity. This is where we wanted to get, so we just had to seize the moment, you know, stay present and enjoy the journey. They hear me say that a million times. Enjoy the journey, because that's what it's all about. You don't want to look back with regrets. We want to stay present and walk with that confidence that we belong, because we do.
Coach, we have I'm sorry, go ahead. Here and then we have two questions for you via Zoom.
Coach, we talked about before the season, we were like, what do you think about March Madness, getting back to March Madness, and you talked about, well, I just hope we enjoy the journey. I hope we play through this journey and enjoy the journey. What did you enjoy most about this? We talked about the adversity a lot and all the not so great things that have happened to you guys this year, but what did you enjoy the most about this journey?
Well, the fundamental reason why I coach is the relationship building piece and the mentorship piece. And I enjoyed watching people just grow right in front of my eyes, on and off the court. Bryce has come a long way, like she said, even just being a vocal leader. She's an introvert by nature, but she's become more extroverted. She's reached out to her teammates more on a personal level, developed lifelong relationships, kind of came out of her shell. And I just watching her grow and mature in that way has been amazing to see. And Abby J, same thing. I mean, I can't say enough about Abby J and how she walks with a different confidence now, and off the court first and foremost, which carried on to on the court. And she went from not believing in herself at all, and me telling her how good she could be, to being one of our go-to players. And that is something that she should definitely be proud of, and we're all proud of that. That accomplishment for her. But I can go all the way down the line on every kid on our team, because I think every kid on our team faced individual adversity this year that had to do with basketball sometimes, that had to do with other off-the-court stuff. And just to see them learn the skill set to persevere through hard times, and learn to smile in the face of adversity and just stay optimistic and positive, and really pour into each other, that kind of stuff fills me up. So yes, of course, we want to win games, and we want to be competitive. But what I enjoyed was the actual growth that I saw happening with these individual kids.
All right, Coach, we have two questions for you via Zoom. Natalie, we'll get to you in just a second. Bill, if you will unmute, and your chance to ask the question for Coach. Go ahead, Bill.
Hi, Coach. Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. Congratulations on your season. So much of today's game probably went the way you wanted to. You certainly played it at the tempo that you, I'm assuming, wanted. You out-rebounded them by 18. What do you think the difference was in the end, though?
Well, I think the end of that second quarter took the wind out of us a little bit, and also gave them a little bit of a cushion. I think they went up by 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly what it was. But the end of that second quarter messed us up a little bit, but we were able to regroup at halftime. I put a press breaker in at halftime, and also just reminded them of the areas that we were trying to attack. And once we got settled, and our seniors had a little bit more poise to them facing that press, then we were able to attack it fine, which made them back out of it as well. So I just think that if the end of that second quarter didn't go the way it did, then maybe we would have maybe had a different result in the game. But I thought we battled back, and I thought everybody stayed together, and we were able to get stops sometimes when we needed them. We were able to score when we needed it. But it just, one team has to win at the end of the day, and unfortunately it wasn't us.
All right, Bill, thank you for your question. Natalie, if you'll unmute on your end, and your question for Coach Mox, please.
I know you talked about Naya's impact a little bit, but just coming into the NCAA tournament, averaging 2.9 points and 4.5 rebounds, and to have the 2 games she had, what kind of impact and process behind that?
Oh, it was a process. Naya, she just stayed open to the process. I can't even tell you how proud I am of that kid. When she got here, she had a whole bunch of moves in her arsenal that she wanted to make, and she was traveling, and people were doubling her. We had to simplify what she was doing on the block. She struggled to remember some of the plays at times, or defensive coverages. And then all of a sudden, she just really started to lock in once, obviously, she knew that the team needed her when we lost some people. And she just really bought into the process. And next thing you know, she simplified her offensive game, catch and score, offensive rebound, put back. And her gift is rebounding, and rebounding outside of her area, and attacking the boards that way. So she did that. And defensively, she got way, way better. I mean, her defensive coverages, like the way that she would, guard ball screens or even guard the post players because of her length, was really impressive. And she always had that in her, but she had to understand how we do things here. And I think it just took a second for her to get it. But once she did, she impacted our team big time.
Bryce and Abby J, glad you stayed. Good to have you up here. Coach Mox, thanks for everything while you've been in Baton Rouge. Thanks for today. Congratulations on your season.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. We will be back for postgame following the LSU-Jackson State game here in Baton Rouge. Until then, don't forget a recording of this press conference is available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub, ncaa.veritone.com. Transcript of this postgame press conference will be provided shortly by ASAP. We will see you again following LSU and Jackson State. Until then, thank you for joining us in Baton Rouge.